body, mind, spirit benefits of fasting. So you might hear about a lot of benefits of fasting being autophagy, organ detox, healing of injuries. Like you could do amazing things like cut in half the time it takes to heal your broken leg, or get over an autoimmune disease, or heal cancer, whatever it is you have going on. Like fasting can do this for you. It's totally incredible. But I want to touch on something even a bit more esoteric than that, maybe a bit less material. So I find that through fasting, not only are there benefits, but there's like a really deep uncovering, like an upgrading. But it doesn't even feel necessarily like an upgrade, because it's not like anything is being added. It's like things are being integrated and harmonized because of what's being taken away. So it's like an uncovering of the magical self that was always there, but was just maybe a little bit lost. One thing I've experienced through fasting is that it completely changes the way that I'm able to breathe. So not just like my diaphragm has more room to descend now, so I'm able to better activate my diaphragm, and then that connects to my psoas, my stabilizer muscles, my hips, and everything is integrated into the diaphragm, and now is able to have more room to expand. But it's also just more able to, like, I don't know, the neural networks that are connecting to these places are just having more communication, and everything is able to work more in unison. But it's like my breathing is happening at a deeper level. And not only the breathing is happening at a deeper level, but it's like the breathing is happening at a less controlled level. So I would say before I did my last fast, when I was trying to send my breath into microcosmic orbit, so I'm trying to breathe up my spine into my brain and back down, I'm like thinking about each area and sort of sending my awareness and expanding with the breath in each spot. And like beyond that, that's all it is to me, right? And after this fast that I've just done, now my breath is like, it's being moved through me. So right, have you ever had an experience like something your body is doing involuntarily versus something is doing voluntarily? Like maybe you've been really sick and your body is vomiting and it's happening. Sorry, it's a little brutal, but like if you're having this like gut wrenching, like vomiting, I guess that's something maybe we've all experienced that I could compare it to. It's like something is coming through you and you are just having to surrender to it, and like you're on this ride, right? And then there's the experience of, you could make yourself throw up if you really wanted to. So those things are really different experiences, right? So same thing with the breathing. So after this last fast, I find I'm able to like let the breath come through me as something that is moving, like I'm being moved. I'm not doing the moving. I'm not really moving my breath into my microcosmic orbit. I'm like getting myself just relaxed enough that the breath moves me and I'm like getting out of the way. And it's just like such an ecstatic experience of breath. Yeah, beyond anything that I had experienced before. It just like full body tingles, like so much pleasure in the breathing. I can't tell you, like it just feels like my whole being is more integrated and more connected to the breath. And in that way, it's like I can feel my heart in a new way. Also, like I've had a million pops of my spine, like everything has gotten to be more aligned. So I can tell the fluid is moving more clearly, more with more amplitude, most likely, because there's less in the way, and everything is in a more aligned position than it was before. Because the body, like, it knows where it wants to go, and all you got to do is just like get out of the way, for real. So a fast is a great way to do that, especially if it's combined with a lot of slowing down and going within, and just placing the awareness within and taking some deep breaths and just letting the body do what the body's going to do. So it has really been super humbling for my mind and my whole mind-body connection, because my mind is trained and so used to being in control and having to work to make sure I survive and get all the things I need. And the mind has taken some steps through fasting to humble itself, to really realize oh, my body, it knows things on such a grander level than my mind would ever be able to know. And that if my mind can just really allow the experience of me being a channel, of letting whatever experience wants to happen, of letting inspiration happen, because during a fast too, a lot more inspiration can come in, because there is less other stimulation. So it's just making more room to listen. So I've gotten some really great just some really great inspiration that I've been really excited to act on, and also had a ton of energy to act on it through this last fast. Because fasting can really, really release a lot of energy that has somehow been blocked. Fasting for me is it's a lot of highs and lows. There can be times of really deep exhaustion and nausea, and these are almost always, or they are always, before there's some kind of release. So after that, there's some sort of elimination through some detox pathway, and then it's oh, there's a clearing, and then there's just higher levels of joy, and there's just no way not to elevate your mood this way. And it just reminds the mind that on a deeper level, underneath who you really are is just so glorious. Just getting a little bit closer to that. So yeah, I've loved my experience fasting, and I love to dance and I love to move, and my movement now after a fast feels so much more integrated. When I move one part, I'm feeling more how it's connected to these other parts, and I'm able to move the breath more efficiently and more clearly to different parts of my body, and I'm just feeling just more enjoyment in my movement. It's a profound relief, and I'm so excited to go on to my next fast when I have the energy built up for it, so that I can uncover even more layers of myself. So although this is a challenging experience, it is such a worthwhile experience, and I really recommend anyone who's interested or feels called to it to explore fasting as part of your life, and not thinking oh, how long should I go and how many should I do, and this is more of the control aspect, because fasting is going to be different for everyone, and it's more just a relationship, the same way you have a relationship to food, and certain foods are going to be better for you at certain times of your life or certain times of day, and everyone has a unique relationship in their own way. And if you can really develop an intuitive relationship with food, you can be better served than going on a dogmatic diet, which is the same thing with fasting. So going on some kind of dogmatic, really controlled fast could be helpful for your motivation, but in the long run, fasting is something that is just going to be part of a lifestyle. So you could start really slow and really small to bring this into your life, and then through that your body's going to start telling you the same way it tells you that you're hungry. Your body's going to start telling you you need a fast. Personally, I started with a lot of juice cleanses, because I find that juice cleansing it really clears out material from the intestines, and at the same time gives you a super high and a lot of energy. And I was one-on-one with my small children and toddler all the time, so I was having to just be at this really excited level. So I did a lot of juice cleansing for a while, and that was great for me. And then I've also dipped into some shorter water fasts, which I find that I really love to have time to be super still and peaceful during a water fast. It feels so good. So I definitely plan my water fast for a time when I can do this, unless it's just a short one day. Anyway, I've just done a 4-day water fast, and for me this was really profound. And my body definitely let me know that it was ready to stop when it was ready to stop. And I can feel into sort of what my capacity is and what's like a level of detox that's happening that I have the ability to get through, and like what's going to be too much for me based on all the different factors happening in my life. So I think fasting, if you build up to it slowly, you'll gain this relationship and this understanding of yourself and your own capacities and your own evolution as this goes on, so that you know what is going to be appropriate for you with fasting and what's going to be safe. I think as long as you follow your body's own signals, you're going to be safe, and you're going to understand more of what your body's own signals are through practice. And that's really the only way to know these things. And you're going to have a different relationship over time with fasting to what hunger means to you. So whether it's starting with an intermittent fast, just eating for less hours of the day, or doing a 1-day water fast, or doing a solid food vacation, just having juice or just having broth or whatever liquids it is that you enjoy. These things can all have healing benefits. And as you step into the world of fasting and just like slowly build yourself into it in an enjoyable way, it can really serve to expand your life really, really deeply, and just help you find more joy in existence, and help you step into what your gifts are and what you're meant to do in life. I really feel that if you are stuck in any way, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, fasting can be a way to get the insight and healing and the knowing that you need to take a step forward. So I would love to know about your experience with fasting and what sort of spiritual benefits or uncoverings you've experienced. What would you say to someone who is just starting their fasting journey from your experience? Let me know down below.